This is Chris Mello, your cloud friend. And in the previous lesson, we created this form here out of index.php that will input weather observation data into the SQL RDS database that we've created earlier on in the series. Now the problem is every time we restart this EC2 instance where this website is being hosted, it's going to give us a new IP address. Now this is standard when you restart it. However, we can get around that by dedicating a static or an elastic IP address, as we say, in AWS. So every time you start or restop an instance, it will have the same IP address. And this is the first step in setting up a DNS entry. So that being said, let's go back to our dashboard here. I've already done this, but I'll walk through the process. It's pretty straightforward. So we've got the instances running here. Now what I'm going to do here is, if you see here, I've already assigned one, but I'll pretend I haven't done this yet, and we'll go through. You can see my PHP test page, and we'll go through the process. So Elastic IP, the first thing we need to do is just to create one. So I'll go here and I'll allocate an IP address. Bring this over here. And we'll just, I'm not going to need an accelerator on this. It's just going to be a standard for what we're doing here. It's a very simple web page, so we're just going to do allocate here. Okay, so now you see it's created this one, but however, we have to associate this with our instance. Even though I've already done this, but if you do this, associate this address here, and then what you would do is you would go to whatever one that you've got here. It's already running, but I would go ahead and link it to my PHP test page, which is running. I've already done this in the past. And if you just run that one there, and you can come down here and associate it with it. And once you do that, I'll just set this up here just to say here. But just assuming we're going to do this, that's the instance. Now once you associate that with there, I'll cancel it because I've already done it. Then it will be associated with it. And you'll see here, this has got a permanent address now of 35171148220. So no matter what I'll do with this PHP page, test page, it will always be associated with that address. Now we'll do the next step, and we'll actually select a DNS entry in Route 53 so we can actually give this thing a name. Now we're going to go to Route 53 dashboard here, and we are going to create a DNS page that we can link to our IP address. So if you just type in Route 53 here in the search, this will come up. Now we click on registered domains. It'll give you the option to create a new one. So for right here, I'm just going to call mine. Let's just see if it's here. It shouldn't be. This is Chris Mello, AWS Weston 2.link. Let's check. Ooh, what did I do wrong here? I don't think I want to have. Hold on. Let's see if this will work. Check. Okay, I didn't want to have that .link in there, but I'm looking for the cheapest one. Usually, I've gotten them for here's $5 right here, so I can add this. I don't actually want to buy this, but if I was going to do this, add it to the cart. That's $5 per year. Even on my cheap budget, I can handle that. So you want to add that to cart, and then you want to continue here, which I won't want to do. Then it's going to ask you for your contact information. This is all going to be stuff that's already defaulted for me. I don't want to go too crazy. And then continue on here. Terms and conditions. Let me go up here. This is just all my information here when I'm setting this up. And then you would just hit basically complete, which I'm not going to do. I've read this, and if I complete the order, I've already got my credit card in here. I don't want to do this. It will give you a new DNS entry. We'll have to wait for this to actually get created. Then once it gets created, we can link it back to our IP address. So let's go ahead and complete order, and we'll come back in a few seconds here. This is we have to create a hosted zone. Now we can create a hosted zone by going to the Route 53 dashboard, typing it up here in search again, and click on hosted domain, come up, and we'll make the domain, keep it consistent with what we just created. This is just Christopher Mello, AWS. This is going to be our, say our form for RDS SQL data. definitely make it be a public hosted zone. And let's just go ahead and create the zone. Okay. Once this actually comes up here, we can go in it and click on it, and you'll see here you've got some default values that were created here. But now we have to create a record here, and we have to link it to our IP address. So subdomain, okay, I see this. This is what we've already created here. Christopher Mello, AWS, okay. And then we have to go back to our IP address, which was, let me paste this in here. Okay, there's our IP address in there. So we've created a record. Let's go ahead and create the record. Okay, now that this has been created, let's go take a look at this here. Let's take a look at what we've got. Okay, account, public zone. Actually, let's go back. It's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to actually see what it looked like. All right, we see we're linked up. Everything looks good here, and our web page should be good to go. We can go up and link on it, and I shall do that right now up here. I've got this to be, I've got my web page up here, so we can go look at my web page, which is index.thgs, and make sure it's loaded. And I am here, so we are now ready to go.